Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Mazzano. This is episode 122 of the world famous, universally loved, award-winning affiliate party podcast. Today is Saturday, November the 14th, 2020. At the time of this recording, as you well know. Today we are going to talk about pure storytelling. That's it. How you can tell your story, be entertaining, be funny, and get to a point, make a point, give the people what they need, entertain, yet also be informing. Okay? Now, this is something that you want to do in your business as well. I know when you listen to this podcast, you are very entertained by yours truly. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. No, but this week I was listening to a audiobook by the great, of course, you know, we listen to audiobooks every day around here. Okay? We read every week, listen to a lot of audiobooks. We gather a lot of information. You know, because we are running a business, people, okay? So, we got to stay sharp, you know? But, I was listening to an audiobook from the great Zig Ziglar, okay? And I must say, this is the first audiobook I ever listened to. Zig was a very entertaining fella. He had stories for days. He told a story about him getting stuck in the mud. Some guy came and helped him out. And Zig was just talking, and I was laughing. And he was entertaining. And I said, you know what? This Zig is making points. But I'm also entertained. I wasn't driving down the road. And then driving down the road, because sometimes I listen to a lot of audiobooks, listen to a lot of podcasts. And sometimes you get off into some of this stuff. It's only been like 2 or 3 audiobooks while I'm driving. I'm just like, it's like paint drying, okay? Like, it is just, woo. Are they gonna get to the point or what? It's just like some podcasts. Some people when they interview, they just kind of, you know, dry talking. And dry talking is a term that I like to tell my mom sometimes. If one of her relatives called me, and I'm like, yeah, they called, but they was dry talking, so I had to try to get off the phone as fast as possible. You know, we like to use that term for somebody born dry talking. So I don't really like dry talking people. I try not to talk dry. I try to tell my stories and get them in, get them out. Try to be entertaining, but this is something that you want to think about whenever you're doing videos, whenever you're doing podcasts, whenever you get on somebody's podcast, whenever you get on somebody's video, you want to be entertaining because, of course, as you well know, the more entertaining you are, the more informative you can be, the more you can get your personality across, the more people are going to invite you into their home for apple pie. Okay, everybody? That's it. You know? You have to think about it like, I think about storytelling. I always think about my wife, you know, because I've told my wife 100 stories, okay? No, not 100. I've told my wife 1,000 stories, you know? And I get up, and I whenever I do the podcast sometimes, I know sometimes it's like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. You might not have a lot of energy, you know, but I go, you know what? I gotta turn on the mic. I gotta crank it up. So I think about my wife before I do the podcast, and I'm like, you know, how would I tell it to her? What would I do? How would I move my hands? How would I talk to her? Because I know you can't see me. Of course, you can't see me when I'm doing the podcast. But when I do the podcast, most of the time, I stand up and do the podcast. And when I'm standing up, I stand and I move my hands, and I'm very animated when I'm doing a podcast, because, you know, You want to come. You gotta come with the energy. Who wants to sit here and listen to somebody go, and then blah 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 blah. And I felt that way a couple weeks ago. I was like, I felt myself dry talking. I said, you know what, self? I feel like I'm dry talking. So I was like, we gotta cut this shit out because I don't want to bore you. I damn sure don't want to bore me. So, you know, I definitely always think about my wife and I go, what story can I give? What information can I give? And how can I be entertaining? How can I be informative? You know, and that's how I want you to think about it. Think about somebody that you like, somebody that you talk to, somebody that you make laugh, somebody that you entertain, and they go, you know what, this person's quite entertaining. Now I'm not saying you have to be over the top, you have to be bombastic. We all are not like that. Everybody's not like that. You don't have to be that, but you can still get your point across, and you can still be funny. You can be, you know, poignant. You can be anything you want to be. You know, you just think about your favorite person. It's sort of like email. Whenever I write an email, I was thinking about somebody. I think about my friend, good old Jonathan. I call him John Boy. I go, what would I say to John Boy if I'm writing, you know? So sometimes I write the email, I write like I'm writing to Jonathan, you know? It's like one day last week, I wrote an email so short, it was like 2 sentences. I was like, that's it. I was like, you know what? That's it for you people, okay? But, you know what? You definitely don't want to write emails that short, but sometimes it's okay. You know, we don't do the traditional thing around here, of course, as you well know. But yeah, so I just think about people that I know that I entertain when they get on the phone, and so I try to bring that to the podcast. It's like the phone calls I make. I've learned in the last month or so that I'm just gonna bring the energy on the phone call, and I'm gonna dominate the phone call, and I'm gonna, you know, of course I'm gonna ask the people, you know, what are they looking for? But I don't really I try not to keep it too long because I want to get through as many calls as possible. And, you know, most of the people don't answer the phone anyway, so you just have to leave a voice message. But, you know, I get on the phone, I go, hey, so-and-so, this is me. I say, you know, you fill out a form of mine online, and then I go into the whole gusto, you know. But I come with a lot of energy, and people like energy, you know, so. And I have a lot of energy, and I have a lot of passion for this whole, you know, online marketing thing. So this is, you know, and today I have a lot of energy, as you can tell, because we're talking about storytelling. And I like to weave stories, I like to tell stories, you know. I like to laugh, I like to giggle. So that's why I am telling you that. And I don't think I even told a story yet. That's funny. But anyway. Yeah. Just be yourself and be entertaining, but also be informative. Infotainment. That's what I learned from the great Ben Settle. He makes me laugh when I read some of his emails, and I get a monthly subscription to his email, to his newsletter, and it's I always get a chuckle in there, you know. But he always makes good points, but he also tells a good story. So you wanna do that, you know. So now, of course, you know, everybody's not gonna be your friend. You're not gonna jive with everybody, and that's all right, you know. Just like a lot of my stories might fall into the small town, you know, cornfield, that type of stuff, you know. Or in the truck driving, I might have quite a few truck driving stories. You might hate truck drivers, so you might not want to listen to nothing I got to say. You know what I mean? So that's that. Everybody's not gonna jive with you, and that's all right. You ain't looking to be friends with a billion people. You know, you're looking to be friends with quite a few, but I mean, you ain't gonna help out the whole world. You're gonna help out some, but you ain't gonna help out everybody. That's all right. You know, you find your audience, and people will find you funny. People will laugh, and they'll laugh right along with you, and you'll have a good time, and you will be informative. You will be informative, yet you will be entertaining. Because I mean, look at like Ben Stein. He has a dry kind of thing going on, and I find that funny. Old Ben Stein. Some of you might not know Ben Stein, but you can check him out. It's all kind of ways to be entertaining. It's all kind of ways to be informative, you know. But definitely. And then the more stories you tell, the better you'll get at it, you know. Like whenever I go home, I always make my parents and my brother and my nephew. I always make them laugh, and I stand around and hold court, and tell some stories, and then we all tell stories, and we all make each other laugh. So I always be thinking about that whenever you talk to somebody now, especially when you're doing marketing, because now that I'm fully invested into the whole online marketing space. I think about marketing when I'm talking to people. So I always, in my mind, I'm like, this might be a good story, and I go, and then if it's a window, I'm like, let me slide this story and see if this is good, and then I can use this for the podcast or whatever, So I always be thinking about this stuff when you're talking to people, always have your notebook available, because you never know when you're gonna get a good gem, you know what I mean? So see how long. Let's see how long this has been. Sometimes we get real chatty. It's been 11 minutes, so I think we can close out for now. What do you think? Storytelling, be informative, be entertaining, do a good mix. Like I told you, don't be. I hate to pick on the guy, Gil, but nah, I'll just kidding. I was about to say, don't be Jim Cramer, but I'm not gonna do that today. You know how like the people that make me laugh, like people on Fox News, they make me laugh. Like the Sean Hannitys of the world, because he claims to be a journalist, but it's pretty obvious. He has a pretty bias. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's funny. He's more entertaining than informative. He's like, I saw a clip the other day. He's like, Joe Biden is a socialist, and I'm like, Joe Biden is like far from being a socialist. Like, shit, give me a break, man. Like Joe Biden is quite buttoned up and quite in the middle, and the world will be okay. But he's like, and Joe Biden's gonna take away your guns. And then he's like, he's gonna take away your guns. And I was like, oh Jesus, Sean Hannity, look at this guy, man. Like the shit's dumb, but it's entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, and that was the best thing about like Trump. Like, even though Trump to me was a terrible president, but he's like an entertaining kind of guy. Like his press conferences, everything. That's why the media likes him so much. That's why they flock to him so much. Like anything that comes out of his mouth, he's gonna make it quite entertaining. And all you can do is just shake your head and be like, Jesus, you gotta be kidding me, But I mean, the guy's entertaining, and people like that. I mean, so you definitely want to be entertaining. You definitely want to make sure that you are, but be entertaining and also get your word out at the same time, And when you become a guest on these shows, which you will be, make sure you are entertaining, because the more entertaining you are, the more fun you are, the more free, let your guard down, you don't be uptight. The more of these podcasts you'll get on, and the more of an audience you can reach, and the more, the better your business will get, So just keep that in mind, because if you just like, I don't know how I got started, they're gonna be like, we're never having this guy. We're never having this guy on again, It's like, I'll tell you, it used to be, what the hell was it? Yeah, I used to listen to this when I first started driving. I would listen to the Key Sweat Hotel Hour, whatever the hell it was, It was like some R&B late night show, and Key Sweat, when he'd be on there, he'd be like, all right, baby. Key Sweat had quite a deep voice, but he would be funny. He'd say, all right, it's confessional hour, and do you want to make a confession and apologize to whoever you did wrong or whatever, however it went just like that. And so these people would be like, hi, Key, or these women basically, because there weren't too many guys calling Key Sweat. I guess they didn't want to have a deep voice contest with him. But so these people would call, and there was a couple times, they'd be like, he would say, "Hey, what's going on, baby?" And the girl would be like, "Hi, Keith." And then she'd be like, "What's your confession?" And she'd be like, "I want to apologize to my boyfriend because he bought me roses and then I cursed him out." And then he's like, "All right, baby, thank you." And then so one time, this girl called and he was like, "Hey, what's going on, baby?" And she was like, "Hi, Keith." And then he said, "What's your confession tonight, baby?" And she was like, "I'd like to apologize." And he was like, "For what?" And then she was like, "For what I did." And he was like, "What you do?" She was like, "I don't want to say." And then the next thing, he was like, click. And he's like, "Anyway, let's move on." So that'll happen to you if you are not that'll happen to you if you're not engaging and entertaining when you get on these people podcasts or you get on these people videos. You would get hung up on and they would never hear from you again. And I just thought that was funny. He didn't even say anything. He just like, "All right, anyway." He's like, next song. Next song, or and it's like, shit, well, she like, well, why even call up if that's gonna be your case, And another funny story is one time I used to listen to the Howard Stern show, and he had a comedian. There used to be a comedian named Artie. Artie Lang. Artie Lang, he was a pretty funny guy, and he was telling this story how he got a voiceover gig with Dick Vitale for like a pizza commercial, and he said Dick Vitale. He's like, I was excited because I'm a big sports fan, so I was excited to meet Dick Vitale. He said Dickie V walked in, and Dickie V looked like he was half dead. And then he said, but when they turned the light on, it was time for the commercial, he went into full Dick Vitale mode. He was like, "It's awesome, baby, with a capital P for pizza." And then he said, the camera went off, the light went off, the commercial's over, and he's like, "All right, I'll see you guys later." And he went back to sour Dick Vitale. He's like, "I was excited, but I was disappointed, but then I was excited again because I'm like, oh, what happened?" So, like I told you before, you don't always have to be at a level 10, but when the light's on, when it's time to film, when it's time to record, you want to come up with some enthusiasm. You know what I mean? Don't and then you want to tell the story. You want to be excited to tell the story because sometimes the story is not that good, but the way that people tell it with so much excitement, you just like, I'm into it, man, because this guy's all the way into it. Okay, so that's that. But anyway, that's it for today. It's Saturday, everybody. Go out and enjoy your Saturday. Be out here knocking out this content today, or whatever you're gonna do. But my name is Tony Rosano. We'll be back again tomorrow with another hard-hitting episode of the world famous, universally loved affiliate party, name change coming soon, podcast. And that's it. Good night, everybody. And as always, everybody. Oh, yeah. Before I go, check out theaffiliateparty.com. If you want to get started in affiliate marketing, check out theaffiliateparty.com. That's it. My name is Tony Rosano. Thank you for checking out this episode, and we will talk to you later. And as always, everybody, peace.